Hey guys, Carrie here. It's been a while since I've done a video. As you can see by looking around me, I'm in an RV. um, so that's new. I've been here about a month. I wasn't actually supposed to get here for another 2 months. I'm here early. Long story behind that. Not a very delightful story. It's actually a lot of tension between me and my daughter right now. Um, but I won't go into that here. Um, but yeah, I thought I would do a little update and let everybody know what's going on. I haven't really felt motivated to write or do any videos. I've just been on this journey of healing, um, and it's been pretty rough. But it's never fun wading through your crap. It's it's work, and it sucks. Um, but I've definitely learned a lot. I'm kind of to the point where I think I might just relax and read through my old journals. Like I got a stack of them, and just to kind of see where I was at the beginning of when I first started this shadow work or emotional clearing, whatever you want to call it, just to kind of see where I am. But I do have a topic for today, and I did write an article the other day called Somewhere Only We Know. And I was actually nudged recently to start writing articles instead of lengthy blogs. So I wrote my first one. I actually felt um, compelled to write something. I was like, holy crap, here I go. And it just kind of, I wrote it in a couple of hours. But from start to actual, like, loading it onto my website, it took a little while. But anyway, so yeah, what caused me to become motivated to write that? I'm here on this really. I'm in this process of all of these changes happening at the same time. Me and my daughter have always been pretty close. It's actually been dysfunctional, but we've always been more like sisters than mother or daughter. And it's been codependent. I can admit that, like a need instead of like the mother daughter normal bond. It was like a dysfunctional need to be near each other. I don't know. So I feel like I'm meant to be here now. But I got propelled here 2 months early, and it's been very stressful. Um, I mean, I want to see my grandson and all of that, but we're not really on good terms right now. And I've been having all of these dreams. It started with really bad nightmares ever since I first got here. I got here on the 4th of December, and I won't go into too much into the nightmares, but we're talking like hellfire and brimstone, Armageddon type nightmares where my daughter's dead and everybody's burning, and it was just really terrifying. And during this time, I'm around my family, my sister, my mom, and my mom. We don't really have the best relationship. She's very mean, but my sister is very loving. Like, she loves me. I'm safe around her, and I've never really felt safe around anybody. I've never really felt a family connection in my life, and it's different with her. But I still can't talk about most of the things that go on in my head, because she's just not on that path. She doesn't dream. These people that I'm around, this newfound love that I'm around. My sister's name means joy. This newfound joy that I'm supposed to be be finding, and I'm finding myself feeling emotionally, I don't know, it's hard to explain, kind of handicapped with being able to talk about some of the things on my mind. Like, she literally told me, just some of the things, just don't talk about it. And there was a period where my mom had had a dream, and she wanted to tell everybody about it. She wanted to sit everybody down together, and everybody shut up and listen while she explained her dream. And my sister wasn't going to have any of it. So I kind of got excited about it, because I'm all about the dreams and interpretation of dreams, because I've always experienced it. I've always had just crazy vivid dreams since I was a child, and I have quite a bit of experience with it, and especially since 2015, when my awakening journey began. I've had some really wild experiences, so I know about this. So I'm like, okay, my mom was here in my RV, and I asked her about this dream. Tell me about this dream. And she just started talking and explaining this dream, and I was just biting my tongue, because and listening to my guides, like, shut up, Carrie, don't say anything. Let her finish, while she waffles and goes on to this subject and that subject. But she finally finished talking, and I had written some things down, because it's symbolism. She took it very literally. When I feel like it was meant to be taken symbolically, and she was, how do I say without being too detailed? She thought that God was trying to tell her to take her broken down 2002 Ford Explorer. It's broken down, it's just like, sell it for scrap at this point. It's got over 220,000 miles on it. It needs to be rebuilt, and the whole thing. Anyway, she thought that God was telling her that she needs to tow it 4 hours away to Waxahachie from here, and have the whole thing rebuilt. That would cost thousands of dollars to do, when it's just like, okay, let's just sell it for scrap. Let's get something better, and whatever. And so anyway, I wasn't coming at it from an angle of, oh, hey, this is what that means, you're wrong. I said, well, if it were my dream, I would interpret it as this, that, and this is what I felt. But she, like, got up and started screaming at me that I am not to tell her about her God. So she became abusive to me, so I'm like, get out. Okay, that's not going to be okay here. We're not going to yell at Carrie and do all of that in my space. This is my personal space, and here, get out. Well, anyway, a little bit later on, my sister and her husband and their friend, they were outside, and we got to talking about this, and it, kind of became clear that I'm really the only one that's interested in dreams, and that I have my interpretation of God, and she's got hers, and I've got my interpretation of dreams, and she's got hers, and I should just zip it. And I was also, during this, let me just tell you, I haven't had much sleep. I've had to replace the bed, I finally got a new bed in there. And just the dreams and all of the stress from the situation with my daughter is just like, I'm not even working on, I'm not all here. It's like stress upon stress. But anyway, so I was standing out there watching them walk away, and it just felt very lonely. I'm like, God, I'm so alone, and with nobody to talk to about my dreams, and I'm alone in this. And I felt utterly depressed. I don't know I felt like shit. And I don't know if it was that day or maybe the next day. I think it was maybe that day. I turned on some music. I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm, trying to get my mind off of it. And there was a song that came on, and it was called Somewhere Only We Know by the band Keane. And I listened to it, and I'm just like, man. And I felt nudged to write it down. I wrote it down, and I went back and I watched the video and I listened to the words, and it took me a little while, but it really kind of got me. Like, if I look around here, I mean, I don't know if y'all can see that because of the sun, but like, see them trees? Like, I'm surrounded by beauty here. It's honestly, it's breathtaking. It's beautiful, like, all around me. It's absolutely beautiful. And I feel the energy of the trees and the earth and the sky and the clouds and everything. And I'm not alone. And it's like I'm somewhere only we know. And I actually, a little later, maybe a few days after the whole dream incident with my mom, I started to kind of give my sister, she thinks I'm weird, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine, because from her angle, from her perspective, maybe I am pretty weird, because to somebody that doesn't dream, to collide with somebody that has such vivid, like, experiences, these aren't just dreams. I mean, this is like visiting other realities. This is other lifetimes, past, present, future. This is soul communication. This is all kinds of stuff going on the other side. And to somebody that doesn't experience that, and her friend even that day said, "Oh, I don't dream, and it's beautiful." Like, she's talking about how well she sleeps, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, must be nice. And even when I was doing the AA thing, I'm not doing that anymore, but when I was doing AA, my sponsor took pills to keep her from dreaming, and I'm just like, wow, that is such powerful communication. But I can also see the other side of the coin, like, God, look how stressed out I am trying to deal with all of this crap. It's really hard. But I was telling my sister a dream that I had, that I want her to understand the magnitude of information that I have, and the, like, how versed I am with this kind of stuff. Like, I don't want her to think that it's just, oh, these crazy silly dreams. So let me just tell you this dream that I shared, and I wrote all of this in a brief article. I know I'm kind of all over the place. It's been a while since I've vented to you about all of this going ons in my life, but so this dream was right after I had moved back in with my mom. I had my awakening begin in May of 2015, and I believe this was around that same time in 2016, so it was a year later. I think we were drinking that night. We didn't get really drunk, because I remember I couldn't have gotten hammered, but so I decided to lay down on the couch downstairs, and I think we had company or whatever, and I let them use my bed or whatever. Yeah, that's what happened. So I'm lying there, and all of a sudden I'm coming back from a ship. Like, there's a ship, and it's not really something that I see. It's like I see it with my third eye, but it's like wooden, like an airship from Mario, and I'm coming back from it. And this is what I remember. And there are people with me. We get into a black car. It's a classic shiny black car. I'm with 3 other people, 2 men in the front and a female in the back, and I'm on the right side in the back, and I'm looking out the window, and it's like all of these mountains and, like these giant hills with the road, and it looked like a cartoon. I mean, it was something like straight out of a cartoon. And so I'm like thinking, man, this is really weird. And I started to realize, hey, there's something weird going on here. What's happening? And just then I looked up and there was a cloud in the sky, and it looked like a Mario cloud, but its face, like it had a face, and it started to smile, and it was radiating this feeling of, hey, everything's okay. Everything's gonna be all right. And it was warm and fuzzy feeling. And so then we like get to my house, and then it's like all I know is that I'm aware in my body, okay, here I am on the couch, and I'm like, oh, that was weird. Okay, let's wake up now, and I can't move. I'm not in my body. So what? Anyway, so I lied there for maybe 30 seconds, and I'm like, okay, just don't worry about it. Just lift your arm up. And I try, and it's just dead weight. I cannot move my arm. And then I started to think, well, Carrie, you're dead. You're dead. This is it. You're dead on the couch. And I'm like, well, what's going to happen now? And it started to become like something scary. It was scary. I couldn't feel my body. I couldn't move my body. I couldn't open my eyes. And then all of a sudden, when I started to feel that fear, okay, you're dead. Well, what's going to happen now? Kind of thing. Then I snapped to, and I could move. And I kind of regained my composure, and I sat up. I'm like, what the hell was that? That was weird. So I explained that in probably a shorter version to my sister. And I was like, it's pretty weird, huh? And she's like, yeah, it is weird. Yeah, it's weird. And I'm just thinking, yeah, it's weird if it doesn't happen to you, and it's the first time. But that was my first, like, out of body kind of experience. But anyway, it's somewhere only we know, and that's okay. No, not everybody has to know what we know. But anyway, I'm going to post a link to that video. I really would recommend listening to that. My spirit communicates with me through music a lot. So I'm becoming quite what's the right word? Educated in how my soul communicates. But anyway, that's what's happening with me. I'm starting to write another article, a little bit more about what's happening with my personal life. I'm not going to get real detailed with it, but I will throw some details out there because I want everybody to know what I'm going through and what I'm doing. And one of these days I'll make a really awesome video, and it'll be all edited and fancy, and you'll look back on my videos like from years ago and be like, man, she's changed, and how awesome it is now. But what the heck was that? I just had water fall down from, I don't know if you could see that. The water came down from the top of the trailer. Okay, I'm gonna go. This has been fun explaining everything to you, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, bye.